All right, here with Allen Dixon of the Independence Patriots, a two-way lineman, but Allen told me to play mostly defense. You go by Kentucky. We'll start there. I don't know anyone in the program that said Allen Dixon. It's always Kentucky. No matter who I talk to, if they refer to you as Kentucky, just talk about how that nickname came about.
Yeah, well, I moved here in the year of 2020 from Kentucky. That's where I'm from. I walk in the first day, and I had my papers to Coach Lilly, and he seen where I was from, and it just stuck from there. He started calling me Kentucky.
What was it like walking in here in the first day?
It was a little intimidating, but I was really excited. I looked at the record before and all the schools, and I was just really, really excited to be here.
You got to come in when Atticus Goodson was here. You played with Judah Price, 2 Kennedy Award winners. Not a lot of guys get to play with back-to-back Kennedy Award winners when it's 2 different guys.
Right.
So you went against a lot of those guys, a lot of big linemen. What was the experience like for you as a youngster?
It was
in 2020.
Yeah, it was super cool to learn from those guys. I mean, I was on scout team every day. I took a beating from all those linemen: Logan Isom, Brady Grimmett, Aaron Shiflett, Fisher. All those guys, but they really taught me a lot, and it was super fun just to get to know those guys and see what they were about.
How much did that help you and prepare you for where you're at now? I know a lot of people probably might have counted you guys out last year, but I think probably with the majority of you guys won against Logan Isom and just all the great players they've had. How did that prepare you for that?
Well, he was always working with us every day after school. If we didn't have practice, Logan and Fisher, they was always out there showing us stuff. I mean, I played center a little bit this year. I started out at center. Fisher taught me a lot with that. Like when he'd come home from the weekends from Glenville and we'd hang out and he'd teach me a lot. But everything I know comes from those guys.
You guys played a little different schedule than Independence has played in the past. A lot of the traditional rivalries were off and you had to travel a lot, games canceled. What was this season like? I mean, just a lot of adversity, but it seems like you guys persevered and got through.
Yeah, it was hectic for sure, but it was super fun. I mean, we look forward to it, and it's about points anyway. So, would we rather play those guys? Yeah, it's super fun, but I mean, we'll take the points for sure.
It was just announced. I know Coach Lilly just told you guys the playoffs are off indefinitely. I know everybody hopes it's picked up next week. Well, you get that message, and you've only known that for about 15 minutes now. I mean, what's your initial reaction to that?
I mean, I'm upset about it. I would rather play this Friday, but we just got to take one on the chin and control what we can control, and what we can't control, let it be. So we're going to look forward to an extra week of practice.
And you will get that. You go back to your first game, I think it was delayed like 3 hours, 4 hours, didn't end until well after midnight.
Yeah.
I think the very next week, you go to Brooke County in the northern panhandle. It's another delay. And now the playoffs are delayed. What's it like as a student and being here? What's your experience with this like?
I mean, it sucks, but we definitely learned from the first one. Like the first game you said,
right.
we was going crazy waiting. I mean, we were so excited. We get out there and we're just drained. I mean, we were just drained. So we take it as a learning curve and learn from it for sure, but it's definitely not fun. We prefer to play, but we learn from that.
Talk about the defense a little bit. Independence has had some great, maybe a little overshadowed because of the type of offensive players that you guys have had, but you've given up points, yes, but you persevered in most of those games, even when you, obviously the Hoover game was a tough one to lose 37-30, but just talk about the defense, where you think it's at, how it's improved, and if and when you play James Monroe, how prepared you'll be because of what you've gone through defensively.
Right. Well, first, I think we'll definitely be prepared for James Monroe. We're excited. I mean, when we play him, we'll know what awaits, but I think we're prepared for it. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
We played all these big schools, all these teams, and that's all to get ready for the playoffs. So we work year-round for this, and we're just ready to play.
If you could talk to the powers that be about the delays, what would you say? I mean, as a student, as a young man, and I know you haven't really had enough time to process, but what would you say? I mean, are you upset at the people that made the rules, the teams that brought the litigation? You've had some time to think about that this week, but What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I'm upset that it got pushed back, but you got to understand from their perspective too. I mean, that's their guys. They're fighting for their guys. If we was in the same situation, I know Coach Lee would fight and do everything he had to do for us. So I'm not really mad at them. I'm just mad at the fact we can't play yet.
Do you feel for a team like Westside that thought they were going to the playoffs and then all of a sudden we're told, no, you're not? But I think that's probably one of the teams you're talking about fighting for your guys.
100%. I admire that coach, and I'm not mad at the players or team at all. It's just we're ready to play. I feel like that's every team everywhere. If you're in and you're hyped, ready to play for Friday and get ready, and then you get that text, you're just like, dang.
One thing about it, you'll be prepared for any adversity now.
Yes, sir, 100%.
Well, I'm going to do what the other guys did, Kentucky. I appreciate it very much. Thanks,
You
man.
too. Thank you.